फ्रेंड्स, वेलकम टू माय चैनल। दिस इज सीए राखी अग्रवाल। आज का हमारा टॉपिक है इंडियन अकाउंटिंग स्टैंडर्ड 110। वी आर गोइंग टू डिस्कस कंसोलिडेशन ऑफ अकाउंट्स पार्ट 1, दैट इज इंडियन अकाउंटिंग स्टैंडर्ड 110। टुडे वी आर गोइंग टू कवर द कंटेंट ऑफ दिस स्टैंडर्ड, दैट इज द व्हाट वाज द लीगल फ्रेमवर्क ऑफ कंसोलिडेशन, व्हाट वाज द अकाउंटिंग फ्रेमवर्क ऑफ कंसोलिडेशन, then consolidation principles, then steps in consolidation process along with some of the examples. So let's start our topic. There is an indicator that more than 50% if an entity holds of another entity, then it is a subsidiary and they are having a control. If a parent entity is having a control over the another entity, for that entity they are holding more than 50% of the stake and they are participating in the decision another entity, taking in the pricing activities of the another entity, taking in the managerial decisions of the another entity, then they have a control over the another entity. In that case, it is a subsidiary. In case of consolidation, all the assets of the subsidiary entity is added to the parent company's assets and liabilities line by line, except the equity part, except the reserve part. In case of subsidiary, control is important. What control relationship is there? Suppose Reliance is having a unilateral control on Jio. For example, unilateral means having an individual control over Jio. So Reliance is the parent company and Jio is a subsidiary of Reliance. All the decisions of Jio is taken by the Reliance. Definition of control is not rule based, it's assessment based. Now joint arrangement, there are two types of joint arrangement, that is joint operation and joint venture. In joint operation, what happens? Both parties have an interest in the assets and liabilities of the combined entity. A joint operation between A Limited and B Limited, they have an interest in assets also and the liabilities also of the combined entity. But in case of joint venture, what happens? Both the parties having an interest in the net assets, means in the equities of the combined entity. They have an interest only in the equity part, not in the assets and liabilities. In case of joint operation, what happens? Proportionate consolidation is done under Ind AS 110. So Ind AS 110 is applicable on joint operation, but it is not applicable on joint venture, because joint venture के लिए there is a separate standard prescribed, that is equity method prescribed under Ind AS 20A. In case of joint venture, Ind AS 110 is applicable only on joint operation, not on joint venture. In case of joint venture, what happens? Both the parties are interested in the combined net asset of the entity. Whenever we talk about net asset, it talks about equity only. Equity means share of the entity, the reserve part of the entity. Was equity method prescribed under Ind AS 28 only. Suppose two companies, that is Tata Airlines and Singapore Airlines, they merge together and form a Tata Singapore Airlines. If any company like Singapore Airlines want to exit from the operation, from the venture, he has to sell his part of shares. If he want to exit from that operation, from that venture, he has to sell his part of share to the Tata Airlines in order to leave that joint venture. Of associate, there is no such definition, particular definition is given. In case of associate means if an entity hold more than 20% but less than 50% stake in any other entity, it is considered as an associate. But there is no such threshold is mentioned in anywhere in India. These are the indicators through which we get to know whether it's an associate, whether it's a joint venture, or whether it's a subsidiary. So if an entity is holding more than 20% stake but less than 50% stake in any other entity, then we consider that it is forming an associate relationship with that entity and having a significant influence. Significant influence means, suppose if any entity is having 25% control, acquiring a 25% stake in that organization, so they cannot control that they can give their opinion, but ultimate decision is the management decision. Suppose Google hold 25% stake in Reliance Industries as an associate. Google can give his opinion, can influence the decision of Mr. Ambani, but ultimate decision is taken by Mr. Ambani. Ambani can take opinion of Google shareholders, but ultimate decision is taken by Mr. Ambani only. Legal perspective with respect to consolidation. What are the legal perspective with respect to consolidation? Section 129 clause 3 of Companies Act 2013, what it says, where a company has one or more subsidiaries, means consolidation possible as per section 129(3) of the Companies Act 2013 when a company has one or more than one subsidiaries. अगर कंपनी का एक subsidiary सब्सिडरी है या एक से ज्यादा सब्सिडरी है, इन एडिशन टू स्टैंड अलोन फाइनेंशियल स्टेटमेंट, जो होल्डिंग कंपनी है वो अपना बनाएगी, स्टैंड अलोन फाइनेंशियल स्टेटमेंट तो बनाएगी ही, साथ में कंसोलिडेशन भी बनाएगी, कंसोलिडेटेड फाइनेंशियल स्टेटमेंट ऑफ कंपनीज ऑफ ऑल द सब्सिडरीज इन द सेम फॉर्म एंड मैनर एज दैट ऑफ इट्स ओन। स्टैंड अलोन फाइनेंशियल स्टेटमेंट बनाएगी, साथ ही में कंसोलिडेटेड फाइनेंशियल स्टेटमेंट बनाएगी, जैसे जो होल्डिंग कंपनी है वो अपना बनाएगी, साथ में सभी सब्सिडरीज का स्टैंड अलोन फाइनेंशियल स्टेटमेंट बनेगा। स्टैंड अलोन पेरेंट कंपनी का भी बनेगा और सभी सब्सिडरीज, एसोसिएट, ज्वाइंट वेंचर सभी का बनेगा। और कंसोलिडेशन सभी कंपनीज को मर्ज करके, सब्सिडरीज को मर्ज करके, एसोसिएट को मर्ज करके, ज्वाइंट वेंचर को मर्ज करके कंसोलिडेशन बनेगा, which shall also be led before the AGM of the company along with the laying of its standalone financial statement. So thus in the Indian framework there is a legal requirement to prepare both consolidated financial statement and standalone financial statement, both of which shall be laid before the AGM. Separate financial statement means each of the constituent will prepare their separate financial statement. However, if we look at the frameworks outside India में ऐसा कुछ नहीं है, there is no such mandatory requirement to prepare a separate financial statement. क्या होता है, subsidiaries are not required to prepare their financial statement, associates are not required to prepare their separate financial statement, only consolidated financial statement भी अगर आप present करोगे it's okay for them, they do not require a separate financial statement. Generally standalone financial statement is not required, only consolidation is enough for them. Now what is the comparison between Ind AS 103 versus Ind AS 110? Comparison is that Ind AS 103 is a business combination. This standard is applicable at the time of acquisition. When you acquire another entity, Ind AS 103 is applicable at the time of acquisition, but after acquisition, Ind AS 110. Ind AS 103 is a one-time standard. It is applicable only at the time of acquisition. That is, for example, suppose SDFC Limited merge into SDFC Bank on 1st July 2023. Ind AS 103 applies on the date of merger, that is on 1st July 2023, not on the financial year end, that is on 31st March 2024. Ind AS 103 is applicable on the date of merger, not on financial year end, that is on 31st March 2024. It is applicable on the date when the SDFC Limited merge with SDFC Bank, that is on 1st July 2023. Ind AS 103 gives a principle of business combination. What Ind AS 103 tells us? It tells us about the principles of business combination, how to calculate goodwill on the date of acquisition. That is a 6-step model. So how we will calculate goodwill on the date of acquisition. Separate appendix deals with common control transaction. Some of the business combination principles, then to calculate goodwill on the date of acquisition, then appendix is given which deals with common control combination. This talks about Ind AS 103. Ind AS 110, what it says, it applies only after the date of acquisition. When the entity acquires another entity, then it applies 103. But after that, Ind AS 110 is applicable. Prepare consolidated balance sheet, prepare consolidated profit and loss account, prepare consolidated cash flows, prepare consolidated SOCI. Suppose a parent limited, that is SDFC Limited, and subsidiary SDFC Bank are two separate legal entities even after the date of acquisition. After the date of acquisition, they prepare two separate financials, take decisions independently, they run their business, they carry on their business independently after the acquisition only. But Ind AS 110 deals with how the profit, asset, liability should be consolidated. SDFC Limited will prepare CFS for 31st March 2024 and thereafter consolidating SDFC Bank. Consolidation will happen as long as control exists. कब तक consolidation आप करोगे? जब तक आपके पास control है another entity का. Whenever you lose control, whenever control cease to exist, consolidation will stop. मतलब जैसे ही आपका control छूट जाता है, मतलब cease to exist, then you will stop consolidating that entity. Suppose you are having more than 50% stake in another entity. You are doing the consolidation. Suppose you out of that 60% you sold 30%. Now you don't have that relationship. Now you will not consolidate. Now consolidation principles. What are the principles? We will discuss step by step. Consolidation commence from the date an entity acquire control. Consolidation कब चालू होता है? जिस दिन entity acquire करती है control over the another entity, और end कब होती है? जब entity उस control को मतलब मतलब एग्जिट करते एंड एंड अप लूजिंग ऑफ सच कंट्रोल। कंसोलिडेशन स्टार्ट होता है व्हेन एन एंटिटी हैव अ कंट्रोल ओवर दैट अनदर एंटिटी एंड एंड अप व्हेन इट लूज सच कंट्रोल। एंटिटी विच इज कंट्रोलिंग द अनदर एंटिटी इज नोन एज पेरेंट कंपनी और होल्डिंग कंपनी एंड द एंटिटी बीइंग कंट्रोल्ड इज नोन एज सब्सिडरी। जो कंट्रोल कर रहा है उसको पेरेंट कंपनी और जो कंट्रोल हो रहा है वो सब्सिडरी। द अकाउंटिंग गाइडेंस अंडर Ind AS 103 that is business combination is applicable only on the date of acquisition. As we have discussed that Ind AS 103 is applicable, that is business combination is applicable only on the date of acquisition. जिस दिन आप एक्वायर करोगे उस दिन आपका business combination that is 103 अप्लाई होगा। Subsequently क्या होगा, कंसोलिडेटेड फाइनेंशियल स्टेटमेंट बनेगा जिसपे कि Ind AS 110 के हिसाब से कंसोलिडेटेड फाइनेंशियल स्टेटमेंट बनेगा। Now irrespective of the stakes in the subsidiaries could be the member between 51% to 100% practically perform the test of control as discussed at length in the business combination chapter. All items of the assets, liabilities excluding share capital and reserve, other equities, income and expense of the subsidiaries shall be added line by line with that of the parent. If an entity is having more than 51% stake and less than 100% stake, practically what happens in case of consolidation, all the assets and liabilities, everything is added line by line with that of the parent entity excluding share capital. Share capital को छोड़ के, रिजर्व को छोड़, बाकी सब जो भी सब्सिडरीज का एसेट्स एंड लायबिलिटीज है वो लाइन बाय लाइन ऐड हो जाएगा विद द पेरेंट कंपनी इन ऑर्डर टू फाइंड आउट द कंसोलिडेशन शेड्यूल। मीन्स line by line assets and liabilities is to be added in order to prepare consolidated financial statement. Now the parent investment in subsidiaries shall be eliminated against the parent share in the subsidiaries equity. Parent का जो share है subsidiaries की equity में plus reserve में, pre acquisition reserve on the date of acquisition. और जब goodwill जो generate होता है वो at the time of acquisition ही होता है, thereafter there is no such goodwill का generation. जब आप goodwill generate करोगे at the time of acquisition by following Ind AS 103, that is business combination. So you will take the equities of subsidiary before acquisition, at the time of acquisition, and also the reserve of that. The difference if any on such elimination would represent either the goodwill, या तो goodwill generate होगा, या capital reserve, या gain on bargain purchase. This is because such equity share capital or pre-acquisition reserve of subsidiary are nothing but the net asset of the subsidiary. These share capital और reserve को आप जोड़ोगे तो total asset minus current liability, that is the net asset of the subsidiary on the date of acquisition, which are being compared with the purchase consideration. Purchase consideration means whatever the amount you are paying in order to purchase that stake, which is shown as an investment in the books of the parent company. जो subsidiary में आपने invest किया है और जो parent की books में वो investment दिखाता है. Unless otherwise mentioned, the investment in subsidiary appearing the standalone financial statement of parent is always at cost. अगर आप standalone financials में पेरेंट कंपनी का देखोगे, दैट्स इन्वेस्टमेंट इज ऑलवेज रिप्रेजेंट एट कॉस्ट. दीज एलिमिनेशन कुड बी डन बाय ओपनिंग अ कॉस्ट ऑफ कंट्रोल. आपको कॉस्ट ऑफ कंट्रोल अकाउंट खोलना पड़ेगा इन कंसोलिडेटेड बुक. एलिमिनेशन कुड बी डन बाय ओपनिंग अ कॉस्ट ऑफ कंट्रोल अकाउंट इन द कंसोलिडेटेड बुक, नॉट इन स्टैंड अलोन बुक्स, बिकॉज कॉस्ट ऑफ कंट्रोल ऑलवेज इन द कंसोलिडेशन बुक्स में बनता है, स्टैंड अलोन बुक्स में कॉस्ट ऑफ कंट्रोल अकाउंट नहीं बनता है. ऑल्टरनेटिवली द एलिमिनेशन कुड बी डन इन फॉर्म ऑफ स्टेटमेंट्स. Statement form maybe you can present cost of control account, like you can firstly give the investment in subsidy, then you can reduce percentage of equities, how much the parent company holds, then you will reduce the reserve of parent company, whatever the differential amount will be, goodwill or capital reserve. You can either present in a statement form or you can either prepare a cost of control in the ledger form. Both the form is presentable. Now the share in the subsidiary equity which is not attributable to parent would be shown as non-controlling interest. Share in the subsidiary equity. Suppose holding company is having 80% stake in subsidiary company. Balancing 20% stake is a non-controlling interest that is owned by the other shareholders in that organization. So that 20% is not attributable to the parent. That 20% is separately shown as a line item in consolidated financial statement. So business combination permits NCI to be valued at fair value. Two methods are there, either fair value method or you can use proportionate share in the net asset. So business combination permits NCI to be valued at fair value or at proportionate share in the net asset, that is fair value means thereby giving rise to full goodwill attributable to both parent and NCI, and proportionate share thereby giving rise to partial goodwill attributable only to the parent. It means that two methods are allowed in NCI. एक तो fair value method है, at the time of acquisition क्वेश्चन में अगर आपको दे दिया है कि there is a fair value goodwill is there, so you can take that goodwill at fair value only, and if it is not given you can use proportionate share in the net asset. In other words, fair value valuing the NCI is done only on the date of acquisition. This fair valuation of non-controlling interest is done only on the date of acquisition, not after that, after consolidating or in post consolidation. NCI fair valuation is to be done only on the date of acquisition and not thereafter. Any subsequent movement in NCI is only done due to share in the post acquisition profit. The reserve of the subsidiary needs to be analyzed as pre-acquisition and post-acquisition. So whatever the subsidiaries is having in the reserve, it should be analyzed, it should be properly accounted for. What reserves are pre-acquisition reserves and what are post-acquisition. Pre-acquisition means when you acquire that entity, before that whatever the profits are there in that reserve means pre-acquisition means when you purchase that entity, that reserve, and post-acquisition means whatever you earn after the acquisition of that organization, which would be located between parent and NCI based on their respective holding. The parent share in the pre-acquisition reserve would appear in the cost of control against the investment in subsidiaries, as the parent would have paid the purchase consideration to acquire those shares. So they has to eliminate that investment with reserves with equity. In other words, pre-acquisition reserve and equity share capital will always be purchased from the owners of the subsidiaries on the date of acquisition. Accordingly, if there is any profits on such business acquisition, it is regarded as a capital profits credited to capital reserve. Shortfall, it would be regarded as a goodwill. After acquisition, whatever the parent share in the post acquisition reserve would be added while calculating consolidating reserve, as these profits are earned by the parent, not purchased. Means after the acquisition जो भी profit parent earn करता है वो consolidation में post acquisition reserve बोल के आता है, जो कि parent ने earn किया है. They are not purchasing that profit while parent was in control of that subsidiary. Subsidiary भी अगर acquisition profit करेगी वो earn profit रहेगी, और at the time of acquisition that is purchase profit. Now we will discuss these steps. Whatever we had discussed in theory, steps of consolidation is explained with the help of example. As on 31st March 2026, there is a two entity, that is P Limited and S Limited. Liability of P Limited, that is equity share capital, is 1 lakh and S Limited is 10,000. Profit in P Limited is 3 lakhs and S Limited 30,000. Creditor of P Limited is 3 lakhs and S Limited is 30,000. So total of P Limited 7 lakhs and S Limited is 70,000. Assets in the asset side of P Limited, PPE is that is property plant equipment 4 lakhs and S Limited 40,000. Inventory in P Limited, that is 2 lakhs and S Limited 20,000. Cash and bank in P Limited is 1 lakh and S Limited is 10,000. So total is 7 lakh. On 1st April 2026, P Limited acquire 100% stake in S Limited for rupees 80,000. So P Limited acquire 100% stake in S Limited. P Limited ने 100% stake acquire किया S Limited का at rupees 80,000. At the time of acquisition, which standard is applicable? Ind AS 103. जब आप acquire करोगे उस time 103 apply होगा. Thereafter Ind AS 110 is applicable. So on 1st April 2026, when the P Limited acquire S Limited at rupees 80,000, they will find the goodwill. Who is the acquirer? P Limited. Who is the acquiree? S Limited. Date of acquisition is 1st April 2026. How to find out the net asset? That is the total asset of subsidiary. Subsidiary का total asset, that is S Limited का total asset कितना है? 40,000 plus 20,000, 60 plus 10, 70,000 minus creditor becomes 30,000. So net asset becomes, net asset of S Limited is 40,000. ये net asset निकल गया. NCI non controlling interest कुछ नहीं है, because P Limited acquire 100% stake acquire कर रखा है. So non controlling interest यहाँ पे कुछ है ही नहीं. P Limited ने कितना पे किया in order to purchase 100% stake of S Limited? Purchase consideration is 80,000. So how much extra amount is to be paid by P Limited? क्योंकि S Limited का net asset तो 40,000 का है, पर P Limited ने पे किया है 80,000 for that. तो कितना कितना एक्स्ट्रा गुडविल के लिए, उसके गुडविल के लिए पे किया है 80,000 माइनस 40,000, तो एक्स्ट्रा कितना पे किया 40,000. दैट एक्स्ट्रा पेमेंट इज इन द फॉर्म ऑफ गुडविल ऑफ एस लिमिटेड. तो परचेज कंसिडरेशन प्लस नॉन कंट्रोलिंग इंटरेस्ट माइनस नेट एसेट, so it becomes 40,000. that is non controlling interest कुछ है नहीं, so 80,000 minus 0 minus 40,000, that 40,000 is goodwill. extra amount which is paid by P limited for the investment in S limited, जो भी उसका नेटवर्थ था उसके लिए उसने एक्स्ट्रा पे किया है, वो उसका इन द फॉर्म ऑफ गुडविल. ऑन 1st April 2026, that is after acquisition, बैलेंस शीट ऑफ P limited and S limited. एक्विजिशन के बाद जब Ind AS 103 अप्लाई हो गया, then how the balance sheet of P limited and S limited will looks like. Suppose equity share capital that is remain unchanged 1 lakh of P limited. P limited का profits भी 3 lakhs है, creditor भी 3 lakhs है, so it becomes 7 lakhs. S limited remain unchanged, that is equity share capital is 10,000, profit is 30,000, creditor is 30,000, so it becomes 70,000. And in the asset side, P limited property plant equipment that is 4 lakh and S limited का 40,000, inventory 2 lakh 20,000, बैंक 20,000. एस लिमिटेड में कोई इफेक्ट नहीं आएगा, बैंक 10,000 ही रहेगा. पी लिमिटेड का जो बैलेंस था बिफोर कंसोलिडेशन, दैट इज बैंक बैलेंस 1 लाख था, आफ्टर कंसोलिडेशन इट विल रिड्यूस टू 20,000 बिकॉज उसने उसी कैश में से 80,000 का इन्वेस्टमेंट किया है इन एस लिमिटेड. सो इन्वेस्टमेंट आ जाएगा पी लिमिटेड के बुक्स में इन द एसेट साइड. इन्वेस्टमेंट इन एस लिमिटेड दैट इज 80,000, दैट इज द परचेज कंसिडरेशन विच पी लिमिटेड पे in order to acquire the equities of S limited. So whatever investment done by P limited is to be reflected in the individual balance sheet of P limited, that is investment in S limited 80,000 का impact बैंक पे पड़ेगा because before acquisition bank is 1 lakh, after acquisition bank become 20,000, so total becomes 7 lakhs and in S limited 70,000. In order to understand goodwill we have to prepare cost of control. It will be prepared in two way, either a cost of control you will prepare by ledger form or you can prepare in the statement form also. We are preparing in the ledger form. So cost of control account, that is 100% stake is taken by P limited of S limited. Cost of control to investment in S limited, how much they invested 80,000. How you will eliminate that investment? By equity share capital of S limited, 100% share है तो 10,000 because 100% holding है, तो by equity share capital 10,000, by profit and loss account 30,000. So total becomes 40. The differential amount becomes the goodwill. By goodwill 40,000. ये जो goodwill निकला है cost of control के through, you can represent in the consolidated financial statement by eliminating the investment. Standalone में अपने investment दिखा रहे, investment in S limited, consolidation में investment को हटा के goodwill दिखाना पड़ेगा. Firstly you prepare the consolidation schedule, means line by line addition. तो जितना भी assets and liabilities है और P limited, जैसे P का जितना भी assets है, preparing consolidation schedule line by line addition, जितना भी assets liabilities का नाम लिखिए, फिर उस P limited का सारा assets liabilities दीजिए, line by line लीजिए, फिर adjustment कुछ है तो वो कीजिए. तो 4 लाख प्लस 40,000, 4 लाख 40,000. इन्वेंट्रीज कितना है? P का 2 लाख है, रेस्ट का 20,000, तो 2 लाख 20,000. कैश एंड बैंक कितना है? P लिमिटेड का 20,000 है, S लिमिटेड का 10,000, 20,000. सो 20 प्लस 10 इट बिकम 30,000. क्रेडिटर्स कितना है? P लिमिटेड का 3 लाख और S लिमिटेड का 30,000. तो ये कंसोलिडेशन शेड्यूल लाइन बाय लाइन एडिशन ऑफ एसेट्स एंड लायबिलिटीज. यू हैव टू प्रिपेयर अ कंसोलिडेटेड फाइनेंशियल स्टेटमेंट. फर्स्टली you will give the goodwill whatever you had generated by preparing cost of control account. Like in this case we find out the goodwill of 40,000. Goodwill account in the asset side 30,000. Property plant equipment we had added assets of P limited and S limited, so it become 4 lakh 40,000. Inventories 2 lakh 20,000 of both the entities. Bank account of both the entities is 30. In the liability side give the creditor of both the entity, that is 3 lakh 30,000. In case in consolidated balance sheet we will give the equity parent company and reserves of parent company. We will eliminating the equity and profit with investment and generate the goodwill is reflected here in the asset side, and we will take the parent company's equity and parent company's reserve only in the consolidated balance sheet. So it becomes 7 lakh 30,000, 7 lakh 30,000 in tally. Now suppose another example we will consider, modifying the above example only. We will acquire 80% stake in S limited by paying a purchase consideration of 64 64,000. We will acquire 80%. Now 20% is a non-controlling interest taken by other shareholders. So it will be impacted in the financial. On 1st April 2026, balance sheet of P and S Limited will be in the same way. Only the investment S Limited is 80% because 80% is stake is considered, so it becomes 64,000. Bank account is impacted with before consolidation. Bank account is 1 lakh. After investment, it becomes 36,000 because 64,000 they already paid for investment in subsidiaries by acquiring 80% stake. So bank account 1 lakh minus 64,000, it becomes 36,000. Other things remain same. We will prepare consolidation. Firstly, step 1, we will prepare consolidation balance sheet. Step 2 is prepare a consolidation schedule, line by line additions of all assets and liabilities of P Limited and S Limited except equities and reserves of P Limited and S Limited. So we will not consider in consolidation schedule any reserves and equity. We will only consider assets and liabilities of that balance sheet. Whatever the assets are there, that is property, plant, equipment, that is 4 lakh plus 40,000. Inventories P Limited का 2 lakhs, S Limited का 20,000, बैंक का P Limited का 36,000, S Limited का 10,000, creditors P Limited 3 lakhs, S Limited का 30,000. So it becomes property, plant, equipment 4 lakh plus 40, that is 4 lakh 40,000. Inventory 2 lakh plus 20, that is 2 lakh 20,000. Bank का 36 plus 10, that is 46,000. Creditor is 3 lakhs plus 30, 3 lakh 30,000. First step is we have to prepare a consolidation schedule, making an addition line by line assets and liabilities. Now another step is step 2, that is equity share capital. Only parent equity share capital is to be recorded. We will not consider the equity share capital of S Limited. So in note 2, we will directly take equity share capital of parent company only. So in this case, P Limited is having an equity share capital of 1 lakh. We will take that here only. P Limited's equity share. In step 4, reserves and surplus. The another name of reserve surplus is other equity. Other equity, why it says? Because lots of reserves like reserve and surplus, general reserve, debenture redemption reserve, evaluation reserve, many reserves are there. Only the parent and subsidiaries reserves is to be taken in other equity. How the working is to be done? Working of consolidated other equity is profit and loss of parent company. Whatever the reserve in P Limited is having, in this case P Limited is having 3 lakhs in the profit and loss. These are all 3 lakhs at the time of acquisition, so it's a pre-acquisition profit. Post-acquisition becomes nil, so these profits, P Limited profits, S Limited का जो भी profit है, that is goes to cost of control, because at the time of acquisition, whatever the profits S Limited is having, it should be eliminated with investment in subsidiaries in cost of control account. Cost of control, how much they acquiring, that is in this case 80% stake is acquired by P Limited. To investment in S Limited, how much they invested? 64,000. To investment in S Limited 64,000, that is 80% stake they invested in. Equity share capital of S Limited, that is 10,000 into 80, so 8,000. Whatever he invested in S Limited, उसका 80% stake is eliminated. So P का जो भी हिस्सा है S Limited में वो 80% है. इक्विटी जो है S का वो 10,000 है. 10,000 में 80 तो 8,000. रिजर्व एंड सरप्लस 30,000 है इसका, तो इसमें से इसका कितना पोर्शन है? 30,000 into 80, so 24,000. The differential amount which are generating, that is in the form of goodwill, that is 32,000. 32,000 ये जो goodwill आया है cost of control में, ये consolidated financial statement में जाएगा. Prepare consolidated, that is 32,000. All the PPE जो भी asset, that is PPE 4,40,000 है, 4,40,000. Inventory 2,20,000 है, asset side में inventory 2 लाख. Bank 46,000 है, bank 46. Now equity यहाँ पे कंसोलिडेशन में सिर्फ पेरेंट का इक्विटी आता है, सो पेरेंट का इक्विटी आएगा. प्रॉफिट जो भी पेरेंट ने अर्न किया वो. क्रेडिटर्स जो है यहाँ पे कंसोलिडेटेड में क्रेडिटर 3,60,000. ये 8,000 कहाँ से आए? एनसीआई. रिमेनिंग 20%, बिकॉज यहाँ पे कोई मेथड नहीं बोला गया है, सो वी विल अज्यूम दैट प्रोपोर्शनेट शेयर ऑफ नेट एसेट इज अप्लाइड. फेयर वैल्यू का वैल्यू भी नहीं दिया गया, सो वी विल कंसिडर प्रोपोर्शनेट शेयर ऑफ नेट एसेट नॉन कंट्रोलिंग इंटरेस्ट 20%. 20% by equity share capital in S Limited 10,000 का 20%, that is 2,000, और रिजर्व में 30,000 का 20%, that is 6,000. These 8,000 is a non-controlling interest which is reflected in the consolidated financial statement as NCI का portion, that is 8,000. So total becomes 7,38,000 20,000 in the liability side in the asset. After 1 year, when एक साल के बाद, when the entity earn profits, how they will make a consolidation. 1 year passes from the date of acquisition, that is on 31st March 2027. That is post acquisition. In this case, the balance sheet as on 31st March 2027 of P Limited and S Limited कैसा रिफ्लेक्ट करेगा. Now equity becomes 1 लाख. प्रॉफिट यहाँ पे 3 लाख से बढ़ के 4 लाख, 1 लाख बढ़ गया है P लिमिटेड का प्रॉफिट. तो 1 लाख जो प्रॉफिट है वो पोस्ट एक्विजिशन प्रॉफिट से. क्रेडिटर हम लोग ने रिमेन सेम रखा है 3 लाख का. एस लिमिटेड का इक्विटी रिमेन सेम 10,000. प्रॉफिट एस लिमिटेड का भी 30,000 से बढ़ के 40,000, मतलब 10,000 इज द पोस्ट एक्विजिशन प्रॉफिट. नाउ क्रेडिटर इज 30,000 रिमेन सेम, सो टोटल बिकम्स 8 lakh. In the asset side, PPE is 4 lakh 40,000, inventory is 2 lakh 20,000, remain intact without any change. Bank account is 36 था, 1 lakh और बढ़ा दिया because profit increase by 1 lakh. P Limited का बैंक अकाउंट भी 1 lakh से बढ़ गया, so it become 1,36,000. S Limited का भी बैंक अकाउंट 10,000 से बढ़ गया, so it becomes 20,000. Investment in S Limited 80% stake invest है, so it becomes 64,000. It is a standalone. Now we have to prepare consolidation financial statement of P&L. So how we are preparing that? First step is to prepare consolidated balance sheet, then consolidation schedule, that is line by line additions of all the assets and liabilities of P Limited except equity and reserve. So we will add PPE, that is 4 lakh plus 40,000, it becomes 4 lakh 40,000. Inventory 2 lakh plus 20,000. Same way we will make an addition of all the assets and liabilities. बैंक है यहाँ पे एक 36 और यहाँ 20, तो एक 36 plus 20 156. क्रेडिटर है यहाँ पे 3 lakhs plus 30. And we will firstly prepare the schedule. In this case there is no such adjustments. If adjustment is there, we have to make an adjustment, but in this example there is no such adjustment. We will directly put that amount in the consolidated financial statement. We will put PPE as 4 lakh 40, inventory as 2 lakh 20, inventory 2 lakh 20, bank is 1 lakh 56, bank is 1 lakh 56, creditor is 3 lakh 30, so creditor becomes 3 lakh 30. Now other calculation we have to do. Note 3, we will just only take only the parent equity share capital. In this case parent equity share capital is 1 lakh, so we directly put the parent equity share capital in the equity of the consolidated financial statement, that is 1 lakh. What adjustment is required? Note 3 is a parent equity share capital, which we directly put. Now we will prepare a consolidated other equity. Other equity means reserve, surplus, profits of subsidiaries and parent company. In this case, profits and loss of the parent company, that is pre-acquisition profits. Before acquisition, the profit of P Limited is 3 lakhs, but after acquisition it becomes 4 lakhs. So pre-acquisition profit is 3 lakhs and post-acquisition profit of P Limited is 1 lakh. इसमें 4 लाख में pre-acquisition profits जो है parent company का खुद का profit, pre-acquisition में 3 lakhs था, तो we will give 3 lakhs pre-acquisition profit और उसमें add करेंगे post-acquisition profit, that is 1 lakh. Now we will prepare cost of control account, that is 80% stake. Investment in S Limited कितना invest किया? 64,000. So investment in S Limited, that is 64,000. These 64,000 investment is eliminated by equity share capital of S Limited, that is equity share capital कितना S Limited का? That is 10,000. These 10,000 का 80%, that is 8,000. Profits, that is pre-acquisition profit. यहाँ पे total profit दिया हुआ है 40,000. इसमें से 30,000 is the pre-acquisition profit and 10,000 is the post-acquisition profit. This how we will find out, because goodwill remains same. Goodwill will not change. Only change in the non-controlling interest, that is if we make a working. Whatever the profits of S Limited, that is 40,000 is the profit of S Limited, we will bifurcate that. Whatever the profits are pre-acquisition profit, we know that 30,000 is the pre-acquisition profit, and thereafter whatever the profits are there, that is for post-acquisition. In this case 30,000 is pre-acquisition and 10,000 is post-acquisition. Out of that 30,000, 80% is P Limited's profit. That 30,000 का 80% वो P Limited का profit है, and remaining is the S Limited profits, that is 6,000. Post acquisition profits, that is 10,000, उसमें से 80% profit P Limited का है, that is 8,000, and 10,000 का 20%, that is 2,000 profits is the S Limited's profit. तो इसका impact कहाँ पे आएगा? इसका impact, that is reserve and surplus pre acquisition profit of S Limited, that is pre acquisition profit कितना है? 24,000. Cost of control में 24,000. Goodwill कोई change नहीं होगा, that is 32,000 जो goodwill आपने हमने जनरेट किया था एट द टाइम ऑफ एक्विजिशन रिमेन अनचेंज दैट गिव राइज टू गुडविल. सो गुडविल आप यहाँ पे दिखा दीजिए कंसोलिडेशन में. पोस्ट एक्विजिशन प्रॉफिट ऑफ एस लिमिटेड, जो भी प्रॉफिट आफ्टर एक्विजिशन है दैट इज 8,000. So it become 4,08,000. So 4,08,000 is to be shown in the consolidated balance sheet as profit and loss. Non-controlling interest that is by equity share capital, जो भी remaining बचा है by equity share capital of S Limited, that is equity share capital में 10,000 का 20% 2,000. Reserves of S Limited that is pre-acquisition profit that is 6,000 and post-acquisition profit जो कि 2,000. Total becomes 10,000. That is the non-controlling interest. NCI का पार्ट है, that is other shareholders को इतना मिले. तो total of consolidated financial statement after acquisition के बाद कोई भी profit जो generate होता है उसका bifurcation, उसका balance. तो 8,48,000 is the consolidated total assets and liabilities. अगर आपको इस consolidated balance sheet से consolidated net assets and net worth, consolidated net asset आप कैसे निकालोगे? total asset minus creditors. So ये जो इक्विटी पार्ट है, इक्विटी प्लस प्रॉफिट प्लस एनसीआई, दैट इज द कंसोलिडेटेड नेटवर्थ. टोटल एसेट माइनस करंट लायबिलिटी, एक तो ये फॉर्मूला है. एक या इक्विटी प्लस रिजर्व प्लस एनसीआई. तो टोटल एसेट कितना हो गया कंसोलिडेटेड फाइनेंशियल स्टेटमेंट में? 8,48,000 माइनस क्रेडिटर दैट इज 3,38,000. सो इट बिकम्स 5,18,000. नाउ दीज 5,18,000 में कितना नेट एसेट पेरेंट कंपनी का और कितना ही एनसीआई का है? तो इसका बाइफर्केशन आप कैसे करोगे? Bifurcation of 5,18,000, that is how much net assets is held by parent company and how much net assets is held by its subsidiary. Parent का कितना है? Parent का property plant equipment 4 lakhs का है. Inventories as we had seen the parent balance sheet. Parent का balance sheet 4 lakh plus 2 lakh plus 1,36,000 plus in goodwill 4 lakh plus 2 lakh plus 1,36,000 minus creditor 3 lakh. So it becomes 4,36,000. That is the net asset. Add goodwill that is 32,000. 4,68,000 is the parent का खुद का शेयर है इन 5,18,000 का नेट एसेट में. पेरेंट का ओन शेयर इज दिस. नाउ पेरेंट का शेयर इन सब्सिडरीज का कितना है? तो सब्सिडरी का नेट एसेट निकालेंगे तो सब्सिडरी का टोटल एसेट इज 80,000 माइनस करंट लायबिलिटी दैट इज 30,000. तो ये नेट एसेट आ गया सब्सिडरी का 50,000. 50,000 में इसका परसेंटेज, पेरेंट का परसेंटेज 80% है. 50,000 का 80% दैट इज 40,000 और बाकी अदर शेयर होल्डर्स नॉन कंट्रोलिंग इंटरेस्ट का 20% है. सो इट बिकम्स 10,000. 5,18,000 में 4,68,000 प्लस पेरेंट शेयर फ्रॉम एस लिमिटेड दैट इज 40,000. सो इट बिकम 5,08,000. 5,08,000 is the parent share in the net asset of the consolidated financial statement and non-controlling का शेयर है 10,000. So it becomes 5,18,000 in the consolidated net assets. Parent का शेयर है 5,08,000 and non-controlling का 10,000. Thanking you for watching my video. If you like, please share, subscribe my channel.